This is the GIS Evening Report for Wednesday, June 26, 2024. I am Christian Mitchell. In the headlines, 9-member investment delegation from Dubai exploring investment opportunities in Grenada. Details to this story and more when we return. Welcome back. Grenada's potential as a prime investment destination was highlighted during a forum on Tuesday, which was organized by the Grenada Investment Development Corporation and held at the Spice Isle Beach Resort. It was held as Grenada hosts 9 investors from Dubai who are keen to explore investment opportunities across various sectors like hospitality, agriculture, manufacturing, and real estate, to name a few. Mr. Zia Rahman, Consul General of Grenada in Dubai, is accompanying the investment team for the week-long engagement. Addressing Tuesday's investment forum, Keisha Mitchell, Senior Vice President of the GIDC, spoke to the importance of showcasing Grenada's potential and unique investment opportunities in the varying sectors.
This forum is imperative because it brings together investors as well as stakeholders and other government officials to discuss and dialogue as we showcase that Grenada is the preferred investment destination.
Chief Executive Officer of the GIDC, Ronald Theodore, who presented on Grenada as the ideal investment location, said the aim is to showcase Grenada as an investment destination.
Yes, we are cognizant of the need for foreign direct investment. There's a need, yeah? And we have to continue to be strategic as to how we promote Grenada as an investment destination. So when we heard of this planned mission, we said, well, yes, this is an area that we need to strategize on and be in a position to work with these investors to showcase Grenada investment opportunities. We do not want, and this is a practice that we need to move away from. It's just saying, come and invest in Grenada, right? We have to move away from this. The question is, invest in what, right? So we have been identifying projects that one can invest in. And not just stopping with identifying, because you not just want to have a concept and say, well, invest in a cold storage facility or invest in some particular project. We want to be in a position to say, this is the investment, this is investment costs, these are the return on the investment. So to move to more a numbers game, so you can showcase that sort of opportunities to investors. Not only to these investors, but to all investors, right?
Tuesday's forum was also addressed by Mrs. Roxy McLeish Hutchinson, Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Trade and Export Development.
Your presence here today underscores the growing interest and confidence in Grenada's economic potential, and we are delighted to have you explore opportunities that our country offers. Grenada, known as the Spice Isle of the Caribbean, boasts not only of breathtaking natural beauty, but also a thriving economy driven by sectors such as tourism, agriculture, real estate, just to name a few. Our strategic location, our stable political environment, and commitment to sustainable development makes Grenada an attractive destination for investment.
Grenada will see changes to the penalties in the firearm-related crimes effective July 30th, 2024, following the expiration of the gun amnesty. This is after the Firearms Amendment No. 2 Bill 2024 was debated and passed in both houses of Parliament this week. The bill seeks to increase the various penalties in respect of the commission of all firearm-related offenses under the Principal Act to deter further gun-related crimes and offenses. Leader of Government Business in the Senate, Honorable Adrian Thomas, said the intention is to prevent further gun-related crimes and illegal gun purchases.
But the real objective of this bill is to increase the level of peace and quietness and calmness in our country. And we're going to do that by making it difficult. This is one of the first steps we are taking. We want to make it difficult for people to even contemplate and committing any crimes with guns. Madam President, we're quite aware We are quite aware of what gives rise to some of this crime. To increase the penalty for the offense of failing to make a declaration of firearms and ammunition. If you fail to do that, Madam President, presently, on summary conviction, you pay $1,000 or 3 months in prison. We are recommending the fine for this offense is now $50,000 or 1 year in prison and summary conviction.
The bill was supported by Senators Nolan Cox, David Andrew, and Gloria Thomas.
Give the other side commendation for making the effort to make those changes, but I believe that there is a clear opportunity for this amendment to have a bit more quality and to be a little bit more robust in terms of looking, as I said, looking at the whole issue of juveniles and looking at the issue of persons who are mentally challenged and to address those things, and also giving opportunity for other remedial actions that can go along. So not just imprisonment and fine, but also an opportunity for access to counseling or some special education or something that can help our young men and women rehabilitate successfully.
This bill, this amendment does not target the ordinary man and woman, in the sense the increased penalties. They're not targeting the ordinary John Doe on the street. They're not targeting the ordinary young lady. And sometimes when persons begin to discuss this amendment, they could make it appear as though, well, you're trying to put everybody in this space, but this is targeting the small percentage of persons, and I say that, the small percentage of persons who choose to illicitly possess firearms. Because we are well aware that the bulk of Grenadian citizens are law-abiding citizens. You go in schools, 80 to 85% of school students are normally very compliant. And you have 5 to 15% that could be troublesome to varying degrees. And it's the same thing in most populations. The bulk of Grenadian citizens are law-abiding. I don't own a firearm. I don't possess one. If I were to possess one, I would probably choose to do so legally. I haven't found a need to do so. So I'm saying the stiffer penalties will only affect those, and that's a small percentage of persons, who choose to continue possessing a firearm illicitly.
The Firearms Amendment Bill 2024 is only one part of a multifaceted approach to reduce the incidence of gun violence in Grenada. As a Ministry of Social Development, we are now rolling out our projects, Stop and Think, with Mr. Neil Chaitan. We are currently strengthening our probation services, and will commence our WIRI program, which is our Youth Resilience and Inclusion program, empowerment program, geared to furnishing our young people with social and life skills to keep them positive and productive.
Stay with us. We'll have more news after the break.
Are you thinking about buying a vehicle? Did you find a company on social media? Stop. It may be a scam. Look out for the following red flags. Is the price lower than other dealers? Does it seem too good to be true? Are you sending the monies to the US even though you are ordering the vehicle from Japan? Does the address on the invoice match the address on the payment details? Are conversations limited to WhatsApp text? Is there a sense of urgency placed on you by the seller? You are about to be scammed. Do not take your hard-earned cash or even worse, a loan to send to these scammers. Once the money leaves Grenada's shores, you are not likely to get it back. Consider buying a vehicle already on island from an individual or a car dealer. Beware of these scammers. If in doubt, it's best to stay out. A message from the Financial Intelligence Unit.
Welcome back. Leader of Government Business in the Lower House, Honorable Philip Telesford, says the stricter measures being imposed through the Firearms Amendment No. 2 bill are meant to combat the illegal possession, importation, and use of firearms in the country. He said the increase in penalties, which could be as much as $50,000, depending on the nature of the offense, is to show that government has zero tolerance for firearm-related incidents.
The drastic increase in penalties for those caught with these illegal weapons is the government's direct response to the outcry from the general population that, one, the penalties were not sufficient, and so we have heeded that call. But most importantly, the area to do with no bail for those who are caught under the Firearms Act with these, caught and charged with these illegal weapons. And so this is what that's a message we are sending, that zero tolerance message, that we are not going to tolerate people trading in these illegal weapons and committing these crimes.
The amendment of Section 2 of the Principal Act speaks of imitation firearms, anything that has the appearance of being a firearm within the meaning of this act, but is not a firearm whether or not it is capable of discharging.
Firearms are what it is, but people recognize are now using technology to make firearms, right? And so those imitation firearms are equally dangerous as the real firearms. And also imitations can be used, although they are dangerous, there are some, even those that are not dangerous, right? Even those toys, you use them for robbery and different things. And so we want to ensure that all of these situations are properly covered in the legislation. So we have amended the bill to ensure that everything is covered far and wide so that we do not have the recurrence of what we saw happen earlier this year and late last year.
The new amendment is due to take effect on conclusion of the gun amnesty on July 30th. Minister Telesford urged those in possession of firearms to use the amnesty period, which is still in effect.
This will end on the 30th day of July 2024. Immediately thereafter, this new amendment will kick in with stricter penalties. And so they are basically running adjacent to each other or picking up like a relay from one end to the other to ensure that after the amnesty ends, which is a period that we allow people to surrender the illegal weapons, when that ends, then we go into a period where the stricter penalties are immediately going to take effect so as to arrest this problem. And I tell you the truth, the police, they have done a fantastic job thus far. They too are going to be really stepping up their actions against persons with these illegal weapons. So they're really and truly, they're not going to be any place to hide or no place to run. And so we are saying to those who have these illegal weapons, this is your golden opportunity. Surrender these weapons.
The Embassy of the Republic of Cuba has awarded scholarships to Grenadian students in medicine and engineering to the tune of $4.8 million. An award ceremony was held recently at its headquarters in Lansepine, St. George. Annette Moore has the details in this report.
The Embassy of the Republic of Cuba hosted a scholarship awards ceremony on June 21st at its headquarters in Lansepine, St. George. 9 Grenadians were presented with awards valued at $4.8 million to further studies in the Republic of Cuba. 3 students received awards for Bachelor of Medicine degrees, 4 for postgraduate degrees in medicine, and 2 for undergraduate studies in the field of engineering. Specialized areas of study include internal medicine, urology, psychiatry, orthopedics, civil engineering, and electrical engineering.
My name is Tori Noel, and I am from Birch Grove, St. Andrew, and I will be studying medicine in Cuba, Elam, for 7 years. It is a journey that I am excited, elated to start, and I am just so happy to be given this opportunity to serve the community, my people, my country, and I see it as a great, great opportunity to give back after being given so much.
Ambassador of the Republic of Cuba to Grenada, Her Excellency Yvette Martinez Leva, and Dr. Malachi Dutton, President of the Graduate Committee in Cuba, delivered remarks.
Congratulations to all students who received their scholarships. I wish you much success in this new stage in your lives. I am certain that you will be excellent professionals and will be able to contribute to the development of this beautiful island. In Cuba, you will learn lessons that beyond textbooks and graduate degree. You will learn that it's not necessary to have big material resources to help each other among the peoples of the world. You will learn that Cubans share what we have, no matter how little, and you will join the spirit and tireless fighting the Cubans have to overcome the economic difficulties we have because of the blockade.
We must acknowledge that Cuba is one of the poorest countries in the world, is one of the poorest countries in the Caribbean. And as my comrade have said earlier, they have been able to give more than 70,000 scholarships to the people of the world. And I think this needs to be applauded. But even more graciously, they have given more than 10,000 scholarships to the Caribbean. And indeed, we have been able to receive to the tune of approximately 400 scholarships to Grenada. And this is remarkable. Thank you, Cuba.
Dutton notes that the government of Cuba has offered Grenada 22 scholarships for the 2024 to 2025 period. During the ceremony, testimonials of students who studied in Cuba were shared, and the awardees also spoke about what this opportunity means to them. Tori Noel is grateful for having her dreams of serving her community come true.
What has mainly motivated me is always having that spirit to serve the community, serve people, and give back. After coming out from school, college, I've always participated in groups that has been giving back. So that's just my nature. And to go into a career that's all about giving and helping others is what I really, truly want to do in my life. Words cannot describe my gratitude and how I feel. And I must say thank you to the embassy, to Grenada, to Cuba. Forever eternally grateful.
Postgraduate students Daryl Isaac and Dennis Bain have plans to give back in their chosen fields.
My name is Daryl Isaac. I am from Tempe, St. George, but strong roots from carriacou. My both parents are originated from carriacou. I already studied medicine for 7 years in Cuba, so I'm going to specialize in internal medicine. So one of the things I always say is that we see that we have a lot of specialists in Grenada, right? Internal medicine is one of the fields that we have few Grenadian specialists. And we have like a lot of Cubans coming into transit for three to 4 years and it changes ever so often. With that, we don't have enough manpower to be able to decentralize medicine away from just the general hospital, be able to spread it to different parishes. So we have Grenadians falling through the cracks. So you see one of the main set of causes of death in Grenada is complications from diabetes, hypertension, which are things that are treatable. Which are things that if you caught early, you can treat it, you can help your people from these complications. So me going to specialize in internal medicine means I want to add to the workforce where I can help better our system, help better these complications, help better the kind of healthcare people are receiving.
Isaac is thankful to God, the Cuban government, and the government of Grenada. Dennis Bain completed his first degree in Cuba. He sees the opportunity as a gift that should eventually be paid forward.
I received the scholarship to specialize in psychiatric medicine at the University of Medical Sciences or Universidad de Ciencias Médicas in Santiago de Cuba. I went there to do undergrad in general medicine. Came back as a general practitioner in 2022. The experience was humbling, it was beneficial, and it was eye-opening in terms of appreciation of what we have here and appreciation of what the Cubans give us. So initially, I always had a interest in how the mind works and how people can be medically well, not medically, but biologically well, symptomatically well. You can see them looking well, but there's always something that ticks beneath the surface. And growing up, you always notice there are people in the community who they might be deemed as mad and then labeled as mad for life, right? So that always piqued an interest in me, and then I always like to understand how the mind works. And I saw a lot of need for it. There are people in the community, there are family members who I might have seen, going through certain things.
Others present at the Cuba Scholarship Award ceremony included Consul of Cuba Alexander Quintana and officials from the Ministry of Education. For the GIS Evening Report, I'm Annette Moore.
Thank you, Annette. And finally, in the news, a health walk from Green Bridge to Cameron Park on Sunday, June 30th, will wrap up activities to mark Deaf Awareness Month, which is being observed this month. This year's activities were guided by the theme Deaf Awareness, Education, Health, and Inclusion, which is a continuation from 2023, as the focus is to create continuous awareness of the deaf community in Grenada. Principal of the School for the Deaf, Michelle Brathwaite, told the Government Information Service that creating awareness of the deaf community is of critical importance, and she encourages Grenadians to give them their support.
So the theme for Deaf Awareness Month is, actually it starts off with deaf awareness, education, health, and inclusion. So our focus actually continued from what we started last year, where the theme was actually the same, but we saw the importance of continuing this year with the same theme. On Sunday, we'll be having a health walk, and it will be starting at the Green Bridge. It is going to be near the National Stadium. We would start off at 4 p.m. We will continue on to the Cameron Park, right? And we are going to have with us also the Royal Grenada Police Force. We are also going to have the prison officers from the prison as well. They will be joining us as well on the walk. Of course, we would have other persons within education, the adult deaf community, and some of the students as well will be joining with us on that walk.
Brathwaite says members of the visually impaired community will also be included in Sunday's health walk.
So on that walk, we will be having our DJ, and our DJ will be DJ Reds. DJ Reds is Jamal Philip, and Mr. Philip, as we know, is visually impaired or blind. He will be our DJ on that health walk that we'll be having. We'll also have a coach from the Presentation Brothers College. He will be motivating us, along the walk. When we get to the end of the walk, we will have some exercises that he would lead out in, as well as we would have a bit of promotion in terms of awareness, deaf awareness, and the importance of staying healthy. So that is how we would finish off at the Cameron Park on Sunday. So we're inviting all of Grenada to come on out. We start at 4 p.m. at the Green Bridge. Come, exercise, walk with us, and bring awareness to our community.
Other activities held during the month included a church service at the Non-Parallel Open Bible Church, workshop for members of the adult deaf community, which was attended by Prime Minister Honorable Deacon Mitchell, and an engagement with members of the Community Relations Department of the Royal Grenada Police Force. This brings us to the end of the GIS Evening Report for June 26, 2024. I am Kristen Mitchell, saying thank you for joining us.